Hey everyone, it's Michelle with the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center, and today I'm here with our sisters, Raven and Zara, who look almost identical, like twins here, but Raven is 1 year older than Zara, and you can see a couple differences between the two. Raven has little tippy ears, and she's also got a little white tip on her tail, but of course, to make it really easy on you, Raven's still wearing her gear because she got to come over here for a play date. So I do unfortunately have some sad news to share with you, and the reason why Raven is here hanging out with Zara for a play date is because we did unfortunately last Tuesday on the 22nd have to make the really tough decision to say goodbye to Jakara, Zara's brother. So she is a little bit down, and so we're hoping that this playtime with Raven will help her come back a little bit out of her shell. So if those of you who have been following us for a while, you have probably seen some videos where we talked a little bit about Jakara's medical condition. We're not really sure 100% what had happened, but him and his sister were playing in the day spa over winter, and unfortunately coming back from that playtime, he was limping a little bit. It didn't seem too serious at the time, but we did have our veterinarian monitor it, but over time he became less and less mobile, and eventually, even though we have done x-rays and an MRI for him, we just didn't have any answers, and it did come to the point, unfortunately, where Jakara just wasn't having the quality of life that we would like to offer our animals, so we did make the tough decision to say goodbye to him. So unfortunately, that is why Zara is currently living by herself, but thankfully still getting play dates with her sister Raven here. So following along with some of that sad news, Colorado Parks and Wildlife did also release the causes of death for 2 of those wolves that did get translocated here from British Columbia. One of those wolves being the one that died in Rocky Mountain National Park a couple months ago. We did find out that the cause of death for that wolf was a natural cause of death. She did die by getting attacked by a mountain lion, which is also what happened to one of the wolves that was translocated from Oregon as well back in early 2024. So of course, a lone wolf cannot withstand a mountain lion attack. Mountain lions have the clear advantage over a single wolf, whereas a pack of wolves would have the advantage over a mountain lion. But the second one that they did announce the cause of death for was unfortunately related to people. Now, it wasn't poaching, whereas we had the Copper Creek male get poached last year. So unfortunately, this wolf was killed secondary to being captured in a foothold trap. Now, in 1996, Colorado did outlaw the use of foothold traps, conibear traps, and other body gripping type traps like snares. Unfortunately, they can still use these traps, especially foothold traps, for coyotes with a 30-day permit from Colorado Parks and Wildlife. So CPW had issued a 30-day permit to use foothold traps to a livestock producer, and unfortunately this wolf was caught in that trap. And even though CPW did come out and release the wolf, she died only a few days later after sustaining injuries from that foothold trap. So it's now the second wolf in Colorado to die from injuries related to a foothold trap. Last summer, we had a wolf that had naturally migrated to Colorado, killed in a foothold trap, also set for coyotes on one of those 30-day trapping permits out in Elbert County. So this is because this is now the second wolf to die in a foothold trap. CPW has suspended the issuance of these licenses, which is really great. However, it doesn't bring those 2 wolves back, and because it was outlawed in 1996, we really should never have had an exception to these rules anyway. Traps are inherently cruel, they're indiscriminate, and now of course lead to the cause of death for a lot of wildlife. About 76% of wildlife that does get caught in leg hold traps and other body gripping traps are non-target species. And a lot of times these animals are killed as just kind of trash kill, but sometimes they get released, and now we know that a lot of them will go on to survive for a few days in pain before passing away. So I know this wasn't a really happy wolf talk, but it is again really important information for everybody to know. We want to keep you up to date on everything that's happening with wolves, not just here in Colorado, but around the country as well. There is also some more bad news with our Mexican gray wolves too. There is now legislation that has been introduced to Congress trying to take them off the Endangered Species Act. So we'll talk about that a lot. You'll see it on our posts. We've already been posting about it. So just make sure your voices are heard on that, and make sure those Mexican wolves stay protected as well. So let us know if you have any questions, anything that you particularly want to see. It can be about anything related to wolves or other wildlife, and we'd be happy to answer in a future wolf talk.